What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are looking at LoopRing today. This one comes to us at the request of Mr. Fonzie himself. We're doing another one for you, my man. And we're going to look at this one right now. Let's get into it. Yes, I did get a haircut, you guys. Yes, I did. I forgot to mention that in my last video, but yes, that's what the new do is. Anyways, looking at it, top to bottom here. Top to bottom, nothing really to go off of on these fibs. This is the most historical data that I could find. I think this is like from its beginning. So from 2017, this is definitely an OG coin. That's good. You know, that's good to see. You had a higher high in the last cycle. Didn't have too much of a higher high, but overall, from low to high, you had over a 100x. You had almost 100. No, you did have 190x. Yeah, good job. Good, right? Would that be 190? No, I guess yes, it would be 190. Is a little bit over 190x. So that's no small feat. That's great, and you got higher highs. And at the moment, wherever you find your low, you're gonna have higher lows. So that is encouraging for sure. Let's look at LoopRing. Let's see what we got here. LOOP LoopRing LRC. Circulating supply is almost what its max supply is. I love that. And again, just because that's like I like that doesn't mean that this thing is going to go to new all-time highs. I do think it could, but I've seen plenty of coins that are like this, and it doesn't do good. So just because it has almost a fully diluted valuation, it's fully diluted would be 300 million. Right now it's at 272. That doesn't mean that it's incapable of performing poorly, which it could. Sorry, had a bug. Anyways, let's do the TA on this bad boy. Let's check it out. All right, so from top to bottom, right? I already did that. So let's not do that. Let's go from bottom to top. How about that? All-time low to all-time high. So we're finding resistance on the 382 several times. I would expect that you would see the 618. I would expect that. It looks like you kind of attempted to get down there and you couldn't reach it. You bottomed at a previous area that you've bottomed. Maybe you hold the 618. Maybe you don't go below it. Maybe you actually hold it for once. You know, it's very common in my experience to actually go through the 618, come back up, and close above it in the same wick. You know what I mean? But it doesn't have to do that, and it really could just bounce right off the 618. With the way that it's behaving, I wouldn't be surprised if it did that. Though I would expect it to go lower. I wouldn't expect that we're going up higher from here just yet. Looking at the RSI, you kind of rejected this 50 area. If you had a top right here, you're kind of rejecting previous areas that you found support on. It doesn't have to go lower, but I would think that it does. Looking on the monthly, I'm not super encouraged by it. Let's see if we've got anything on this fib that kind of hints at that as well. Yeah, man, wow. You were held down. You got double rejected by the 236, and now you're below the 0.069. I definitely do think you go lower, and very likely you would see extensions from this low to high down at 14.3 cents at a minimum. So maybe you do go below the 618, the original more formidable all-time low to all-time highs 618 here, right? This is around the same area, but maybe you do go just a little bit below it. The 1618 is right at the 0.69, and you guys, if you've been following the channel, you know how I feel about the 0.69 area. That is not a fib. That's just an area that I've identified as significant, and you know the number itself is funny, but I'm serious, guys. It actually is significant. It's very common to go through the 1618 or the 618 and find support on the 69 and then come back up from there. And that's right at this extension's 1618. Like literally, look at how perfect they line up over each other. So maybe you do go down to 10 cents, which would be more than a 50% loss. It looks like a lot of cryptos right now have the potential to do 50% losses or more. And that's okay, whatever. LoopRing, you know, it's got $272 million. It's, you know, if it drops down to like 190, 180, 170 million dollars, something like that, that's just a better time to buy. It is a low cap coin, so it's definitely got the potential to grow a lot. If, you know, from here, from its current price, if we were to see a 100x, that would bring it up to, right, am I doing this? Yeah, a 100x would bring it to a price of around $21, right? Yeah, 21 cents to $21. I could have done that in my head. And that, 100x on here, that'd be $27 billion, $27.2 billion. So is that an achievable market cap? Can we see that? Yes, definitely. That's something that is totally achievable in the crypto space. It wouldn't be surprising. LoopRing has been around for a solid bit. I've heard about LoopRing, man. I've heard good things about it. I remember thinking I should have gotten in on this thing because it did really well in the last bull market, better than most actually. And overall, the structure is nice. Seeing this higher high, higher lows, I really do like that stuff. But let's get further into it before we talk about the fairy dust stuff up there. Let's actually look at this. Let's see. On the weekly, the RSI is weak. Definitely weak, man. You are not just below the 50, but you are below the 40. You are in bearish control for sure. Likely, I would expect that you go down to the oversold zone, and that just lines up with what I was saying a second ago, that we do go lower and likely break this low. And when we do, we'll probably go anywhere from 10 to just below 15 cents, something like that. 10 cents to 15 cents, something like that. On the long-term RSI, you are below the 50. You actually rejected it. You're below the purple line. It's slanting down. I would say that this does look bad. Definitely looks bad in my opinion. You've got a nice little M-shaped pattern right here. Come on now, brush. Wow, it won't let me do it. I don't get why it does this sometimes. There we go. M right there. You generally see this in more bearish times than bullish times, but sometimes you see this kind of weird. I've talked about it before, but it's like the bow. I call it the bow, the reverse bow. I don't know, where you kind of get this. It's like a W with the M in the middle, where the W part would be. I don't know that I don't think we're going to see that. I do think that we go lower from here. Personally, this RSI on the weekly is just sad. It's very sad. I don't like it at all. Let's see here. Bottom to top. Where is it? Bottom to top. Bounce off the 618. Rejected the 0.69, held the 236 on a closing basis, and now you're holding the 886. You came back up, rejected the 618. You couldn't even get back up there. Previous areas of support are resistance. Yeah, you're probably going lower. You will probably see 14 cents to 10 cents in the coming weeks, months, before the end of the year. It's going to happen. This thing does look like it likes to move down fast, not too methodically. Maybe it takes a second to chill. We have taken a second to chill. So when it moves, it'll probably take a month or so to get down to these areas. And I'm not saying a month or so from now. I'm just saying from whenever we break this range. And we will find out when we could potentially break this range by going on to the daily. Looking at the daily, it's just, none of it looks good in my opinion. None of it, at least in the short term, none of it looks good. We're below the 50, below the long-term purple line here. Below the 50 on the long-term RSI, below the 123 MA. 123 MA is slanted to the downside. You kind of had a triple top here, actually. And you just, yeah, man, you look like you're going down. You get a green candle, then you bearishly engulf. You get a green candle, bearishly engulf. Bearish, it looks like it wants to go down. On the short-term RSI, you are below the 50. Anytime you got above the 50, it was short-lived. You had a triple top here. Previous areas that you rejected before, you couldn't even get into the bullish control zone. You rejected it. So neutral RSI overall, but with a bearish tilt to it. And I do think actually you might be getting ready to come back down. If we're looking for that move that goes around 10 to 14 cents, look for a day that closes below 21 cents. If we can close below 21 cents, likely you will be making that move down to around 14 cents, if not lower. And when I say making that move down, I mean it's going to happen within a month. Within a month of breaking this, put your timer on. Within 4 weeks, 5 weeks even, you'll likely be down below where this chart is actually right now, below 15 cents, somewhere in the 14-cent range, if not lower. That's my opinion. But overall, again, I want to go back to this and reflect on this. LoopRing itself looks bullish from a chart perspective. It definitely does. You've got higher highs. You will, even if it went down all the way to 2 cents, man, you've got higher lows. And I would very much expect that this thing is going to give you higher lows. It's going to promote that. But the 618 to the 0.69 area, that does seem like a likely area to find your low, somewhere down in here. And we're on a monthly, so this could happen by the end of this year, if not sometime next year in the beginning. But I would expect that you make your way down here. That'll probably be your low, and then it's off to the races, man. And this is I'm gonna probably talk about this again whenever it's a year from now or 6 months from now. But you know, if you let's say you were to bottom at the 1618, which is what that was at 14 something cents, like 14.2 right there. What you would look for is a break above this 618 here, which is kind of above these highs here, above this high range here. And once you get a break above that, then we can start talking extensions. And I do think these extensions are totally possible. Seeing anywhere from like $9 to $30. Again, a 100x from the current price is possible, and that'd put you at $21, almost $22. You could definitely see a $30 or at least a $10 LoopRing in the coming bull cycle. I do think that that's likely in the cards for this thing. So you will see a double-digit LoopRing. I do think that's going to happen, but not before you see somewhat of like a 50%, maybe not a 50% drop, maybe like a 40, like 35 to 50% drop, somewhere in there. What would that be from here, actually? From here, not even 30, about 35. Okay, so yeah, 35 to 50%. You might even see like a 30% drop. It might not even go as low as this is here, but this is just an idea. You know, this based off of price action, you've got this here. You kind of actually have this previous area of resistance, support. Maybe you come down to 12 cents. You know, maybe you don't hit either of those lines. You hit somewhere in between it. But I do think you go lower from here. That is my genuine expectation. So at the moment, bearish, but overall, I like it, man. I think this thing looks fine. I think it has a bright future, you know. It's been around for a while, and it hasn't had any problems to my knowledge, so I like it, man. I definitely like it a lot. I think that's all I got to say on it. So if you like the video, leave a thumbs up. Subscribe to see more. This is definitely a 100xable coin. It definitely is from the current price. If it were to drop 30 to 50%, you drop 50%, it's not only 100xable, it's 200xable. And it could go more than that. It really could. Like this thing, with the current market cap being at 272, let's say it was to 1000x. So a 10x would be 2.7 billion, 100x would be 20 billion, 1000x would be 272 billion, almost 300 billion. You know, is that achievable? That is a high achievement to make. That is something that, you know, that only a few cryptos will probably do, achieving a market cap of several $100 billion. But if this thing's legitimate, if it catches traction, you know, it's possible. It could really happen. I don't think that's going to happen in this coming bull cycle, but it is a low enough cap coin where ridiculous things and good returns can happen, and I like the structure of it overall. I do think that it's going to have a good rally coming in the coming future. It likely will go above this high. You will likely see a double-digit above $10 LoopRing by the end of this next cycle. So it's only worth 21 cents now. So I think that's you know, even now it's a good investment. But I would wait personally. I would wait. Yeah, that's all I got for you guys. So if you liked the video, leave a thumbs up, subscribe to see more, and I will see you guys on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.